Welcome to Undisputed. What are your thoughts on Game 1 last night?
I thought it was a interesting game because I thought both teams came out and really didn't have their rhythm. And I thought, for the first half it was kind of close, and then Durant took over. And when he took over, it was kind of like, wow. You have been waiting to see this moment
Yep.
on the big stage and how he would perform on the big stage. And he wasn't shy about it at all. And the performance that he put on last night, I think it woke everybody up to just how great a basketball player he was. Because, before he got injured, he was the best player in the league. And I think last night he came out and he reestablished himself as, you talk about LeBron and you always talk about KD, a couple of years ago in terms of who was 1 and 2. And actually, KD, I think he was the MVP of the league, and then he broke his foot. And, last night he looked like that guy
So
again.
the player you saw last night was better than LeBron James.
Well, wait a minute. Just in last night's game,
Has he emerged?
in a singular activity in a singular game, yeah, he was the best player on the floor last night.
Does he have a chance in these finals to prove in a bigger picture that he's better than LeBron James?
See, I look at LeBron James in a broader category. I don't look at him in terms of what he is, what he does on the basketball floor. What he does outside of the floor. I take the totality of what he's done as a champion. And when you're looking at a champion, the way I was brought up, he or she has a responsibility not only to perform inside the lines, but outside of the lines. They have a greater responsibility in terms of, uplifting the team, and also if you have an opportunity to uplift society, then they take on that responsibility. That's what the Muhammad Ali's did. That's what the Jim Browns did. That's what the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars did. So that champion, the way I was brought up, when you're the best player on the team and you're the leader of the team or the best player in the league, you have a greater responsibility to move the game, to move society forward. And that's why I look at LeBron James in that way.
LeBron has done that.
Yes.
I will give that to you for sure.
So that's my criteria.
The comparisons, it just will not go away. LeBron versus Michael.
Yeah.
How close is LeBron? Some similarities and some differences.
I look at LeBron and what he's done is mind blowing with what he's had to work with. And what I mean by what he's had to work with, LeBron James came straight from high school. Do you know who his high school coach is?
Drew Joyce?
But I'm just asking. Do you know?
No.
Do you know?
I know St. Vincent, St. Mary, but I don't know the coach.
So this is the
I
point
think
I'm
I've
trying
read
to make.
Quotes from
right?
him, yeah.
He didn't go to college.
Yeah.
He's taken every rookie coach he's had to the NBA Finals. So from an educational standpoint and a knowledge base, where did this brain come from? I mean, he's the Einstein of basketball. Because when you look at myself, you look at a Jordan, you look at a Shaq, we had Hall of Fame coaches. Like Michael Jordan played for Dean Smith, Hall of Fame. Then he goes and meets Phil Jackson, Hall of Fame. Doug Collins, those were his first coaches. He was around Tex Winters. I was around Chuck Daly, Coach Knight. So from an educational standpoint, the knowledge that we were given and what we were able to apply out on the field and out on the floor, that came from somewhere. I look at LeBron James and I go, where'd he get all this? Because he can look at your coach, figure out your defensive scheme. He can look at your substitution pattern. He can read the stat sheet, and then he can, not only read it, but he can dissect it. Then he can come back and put together a game plan, and then he can go out and implement it. So the Tom Brady's and the Peyton Manning, so forth and so on, they all had coaches, schools, and, big institutions that they went to. LeBron James just came in from high school and said, boom, 7 straight finals. You do not go to the NBA Finals in all league at age 22 and say, I'm here with, Boobie Gibson and, Danielle Marshall and the coach. No offense to any of them, but you just don't do that in all
Paint
league.
cans, squeegees, and a nail file. That's what he took to the finals.
But
By the way, they got swept by the Spurs, but go ahead.
Yeah, but again, and all of us have been around sports a lot, right? And you just don't walk in from high school with no institutional knowledge and dominate a sport for the years that he's dominated. So when you talk about LeBron James, Michael Jordan, I look at from the neck up, not necessarily from the neck down, and I'm not going to judge. Again, my criteria is a little different because from a concentration standpoint and a game planning standpoint, LeBron James is head and shoulders above any of these guys.
So are you saying LeBron is better than Michael Jordan?
I would pick LeBron James.
You would?
Yeah, if I'm trying to
Build a team.
if I'm trying to build a team, now it ain't sour grapes. Hold on, come on over here and talk about it, cause I won. Okay,
He did.
You can't be dismissive of what I did. Okay, so let's keep it real now. Now, so if you're trying to win a series, I'm going with the brain. Okay, if I got to get 40 points or 50 points, then yeah, I'm taking a Michael Jordan or a Kobe. But the greatest player to ever play this game is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And we are dismissive of Kareem because every single stat that you throw up, he's at the top. So when we talk about the greatest to ever do it, you know, Kareem is the one who's at the top
How much
of the
did
bar.
Magic have to do with Kareem's success?
Magic Johnson never won an NBA championship without Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
did
So
not.
let's turn that question around, right?
Kareem had won one without Magic, pre-Magic, with Oscar.
So Kareem lost one game in high school.
One game in college.
Kareem lost one game in college.
88 more.
To Elvin Hayes.
And he didn't go hardship, right? He lost
No, he went
one
the
game.
whole way.
So you're
Yep.
talking about from 1971, he was in the NBA
unbelievable.
Finals.
Yep.
His last NBA Finals was against the Detroit Pistons in 1989. Okay? So when you talk about domination and dominating the sport, he did it for 2 decades. Magic Johnson, if he was sitting here with us today, he would gladly defer to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.